Welcome to the tutorial on Google Analytics and keywords. This tutorial will discuss how journalists can use Google Analytics to improve their website and social media presence. It will also describe how journalists can effectively use Google's keywords to promote and research their stories. Google Analytics is a free tool produced by Google that analyzes data about the people who have viewed your website. It is accessible at google.com/analytics. The analytics of your website will show you detailed statistics about who has been visiting your website, what those people are interested in, and what devices they are using to view your web page. Once you sign into Google Analytics and connect it to your website, you will be able to receive data about the people who have visited your web page. This is called the Audience Overview. The overview will show you what has been going on with your audience during the past month, because the default amount of time Google Analytics always shows you is 1 month. On the main page of Google Analytics, you will see an overview of your audience, the number of sessions in which people have viewed your website, the average length or duration of each session when someone was on your website, the number of separate individuals or users you had visiting your website, how many different pages on your website people visited when they reviewed your web page, how many of your visitors were brand new visitors, and how many were people who had previously viewed your web page, and the bounce rate for your website. In this tutorial, we'll look at each of these statistics in detail so that you can understand what they mean and how to improve them. Ultimately, your screen that you're collecting all this data from should look something like this image does. As you can see, all the data we just discussed is easily viewed from this landing page that pops up right when you log into Google Analytics. In addition, you can use Google Analytics to learn where your readers are located. To find out that information, you will need to look at the left-hand side of your Google Analytics at the toolbar. Under the section called Audience, click on the little drop-down arrow next to the word Geo, then click on Location. This will bring up a map of the world. On that map, the countries from which people have viewed your website will be highlighted. When you scroll down, you'll see that you can click on the individual countries that people have viewed your website from, so that you can get details about their locations, such as specific states that they have viewed your website from. You can even click on the individual states to see where within each state you've had the most views of your website. This data can be really helpful if you are trying to determine what location to cater your website and social media posts to, or whether you should even translate your posts into another language. You'll also need to identify how people are accessing your website through their mobile devices. To do that, take a look at the left-hand side of your Google Analytics at the toolbar. Under the section called Audience, click on the little drop-down arrow next to the word Mobile, then click on Devices. This lets you know which devices your readers are using most to access your website. Often, you'll see that iPhones and iPads are the most used devices for accessing your website. This is important for you to know so that you can ensure you are catering your website and social media posts to people who have tiny screens on their mobile devices, such as by posting short comments, shortened hyperlinks to your articles, etc. And of course, if you look at the data contained on the Mobile Analytics report, you'll see how long people are staying on your website when they are using different devices, which can be an indication of whether your responsive design and mobile style is working well on each of those devices. Through Google Analytics, you can identify how many of the visitors to your website over the course of the past month have visited your website previously, and how many have never visited your website before. This is extremely useful information because it tells you whether you are attracting new people to your website and, as a result, whether you need to increase your social media promotions to see an elevation in the number of new visitors coming to your website. You'll also see the page views, which tells you how many different pages within your website were clicked on in total over the course of the last month. And then the pages per session number. That tells you the average number of pages each visitor looks at when they come to your website. Additionally, this screen will show you the average session duration. That's the average amount of time people who visited your website spent on your website. The average amount of time it should take someone to read your stories is about 2 minutes. So ideally, you'll see an average session duration of at least 2 minutes, since that would indicate that people who visit your website are taking their time to read your publications. Google Analytics gives you the option to enable extra data to be collected about your audience. For example, once you enable the demographic information, you will be given data about the gender of your readers and the age of your readers. This information can be very useful if you are trying to determine which social media platforms to use in order to appeal to your target audience, or simply what types of comments to post on your social media profiles in order to appeal to your target audience. Similarly, once you enable the demographics report, Google Analytics will tell you what your readers are interested in. This information is very useful because it can actually get quite detailed in regards to what specific sports your visitors follow, what interests they may have, what travel destinations they're researching, or what other hobbies they may have. As a result, you'll gain a better understanding of what topics to research for your stories, what social media platforms to promote your stories on, and what types of posts to use, or at least which subjects to mention in your posts in order to capture your readers' attentions. Of particular importance for this class is the Google Analytics data regarding how your visitors were acquired. This data, which is available under the Acquisition section of your Google Analytics, shows how many of your readers were directed to your website through a social media platform, through a direct link to your website, and through a search engine. Specifically, this data will help you to visualize the number of sessions your website had from each source, how many pages within your website people viewed when they came to your web page from each source, and how long each person stayed on your website when they came to your web page from each source. This information will be very beneficial to you because it will tell you whether your social media posts are effectively driving traffic to your website and whether that traffic is resulting in visitors actually staying on your web page long enough to read your articles. Google Analytics Acquisition section has helpful information about the keywords that people use to find your website, and therefore your social media posts. When you click on Search Engine Optimization and Queries, you see data about what search terms people have used to locate your articles. This information is helpful in determining what keywords you should use in your social media posts that promote each article, as well as your website. While Google Analytics is extremely helpful, Google also has another tool that is useful for journalists. When you go to google.com/trends, you will see hot topics that are trending in the news, including information about celebrities and sports. The top charts icon, when you are in the Explore section of Google Trends, lets you look at what is trending in different fields, such as business, politics, entertainment, lifestyle, and various other topics. It can be a really helpful resource for figuring out story ideas in regards to feature pieces. Since hard breaking news is difficult to use Google Trends for, since the trends on those issues are still developing, whereas the trend data of what was popular and where it was popular is better reported after the fact. Through Google Trends, you can search at the top of the screen for a topic. Google will then show you a chart of people's interest level in the topic over time. The default is to show you the past 10 years worth of searching for the topic worldwide, so it'll show you how popular the topic has been since 2005 all around the world. When you scroll down, the trends data will show you where the searches on this topic have come from. Here, keep in mind that the statistics are showing you numerically where the most number of searches came from. The actual numbers are not percentages or other definitive statistics. One helpful tool Google Trends has is that it will let you compare multiple topics so that you can easily determine which topics have trended most, when they have been trending, and what places they have been trending in. Another thing you can do with Google Trends is search by location. If you have already looked up a topic and want to then search by locations, all you need to do is take a look at the toolbar on the left-hand side of your screen. There is a button you can click that is called Locations. Then you can add a search term at the top of the screen and add the location, such as the country, you want to see results for. That will allow you to easily see the regional interest in that topic within the location you have selected. The location search will permit you to compare different places that have searched for your topic too, which provides you with a nice comparison of how popular your topic is in different places. In addition, you can compare how popular a topic has been during different time ranges by clicking on the button that is located on the left-hand side of your screen in the Google Trends toolbar that says Time Ranges. That will allow you to add a term and select multiple time ranges to search for in the terms trends during, so that you can compare how the topic has trended in different time periods. As a result, you will get a clear indication of what specific topics are trending in each geographic area so that you know what specific regions and topics to cater your stories and social media posts to when you are writing. Those are some of the ways journalists can use Google Analytics and keywords to analyze the effectiveness of their social media promotions. Moving forward, try to force yourself to use Google Analytics and keywords regularly. With time and practice, you'll get used to using them and Google Trends, and it'll simply become an automatic part of your routine as a journalist. Thank you for listening, and good luck successfully researching your social media posts.